Looks good from my end, Chris.
Okay, super. Well, thank you very much, everyone. My name is Chris McPherson. I'm the offering management leader for Cognos Analytics. So I lead a team of product managers responsible for the Cognos Analytics product. So what I wanted to do today is just to give you a bit of an introduction as to what Cognos Analytics is, the benefits that you get, and give a bit of a flyover of some of the key capabilities. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail because I know there's a more detailed presentation coming up later today where someone from eCapital is going to dive into some of the critical capabilities and really get into much lower level. So, and then from there, just spend a few minutes kind of closing out with what our vision for the future is and some of the plans that we have for for the coming months and years. So first of all, what is Cognos Analytics? So Cognos is really an AI-infused business and analytics platform, and it's really designed to solve real customer challenges. Now, there's a lot of text on this chart, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but some of the key challenges we see are just ease of use. Customers need products that they can deploy and get up and running quickly, and they need their users to be their time to value to be very quick. So, we spend a lot of time working on ease of use and usability in order to really streamline that onboarding process and the time to value for these customers. Another challenge is, how do I find the data I need when I need it, and can I trust it? So access to virtually any kind of data is something that we've done for a very long time, and trust in the data, governance, security, these are all things that are really fundamental to our platform. And then lastly, how do I keep up with the demands of stakeholders and users for information? IT departments can really get bogged down and just get overwhelmed with requests for information, particularly in the environment we're in now, where everyone is working remotely. No one's in the office. No one's can walk over to someone else's desk. You really do need to have something centrally managed to enable people to serve themselves. But at the same time, coming back to the governance topic, at the same time, you want to have guardrails there. You want to make sure everyone is looking at the same trusted information and they're have the right information to make the decision they need to make. So what are some of the benefits of Cognos Analytics? So, we've introduced AI-powered data exploration, where we really do take a line of business user and just let them start exploring and really guiding them through the data and the assets that they have available to them based on the type of questions that they want answered. So we provide things like natural language processing to allow users to be able to simply have a conversation with our AI assistant and be able to generate content and things like that using natural language. Unrestricted power at any size. So, one of the sort of fundamental things about Cognos Analytics is it really does scale to any size. I know that's become a bit of a cliche, but we do have customers with as few as 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 users, all the way up to customers with tens of thousands of users and millions of reports and dashboards. So, being able to start small and then, scale up as needed is really, I think really valuable for a solution like ours. Actionable, faster results all in one environment. Cognos Analytics is I have a slide in a minute that'll highlight this a little more, but it really is one solution that can handle just about any use case. So you don't need a separate tool for doing data exploration. You don't need a separate tool for the AI capabilities. We have all of these capabilities in a single platform. And then lastly, affordable options on the cloud. So we have a number of cloud options that I'll talk about a little later, but you can get started with Cognos Analytics for as little as $15 a month for a single user. So, I mentioned kind of the everything in one place a minute ago. Cognos Analytics is really a single platform for any user experience. So whether you're the consumer, I've got these personas across the bottom here, whether you're a consumer, whether you're a business analyst, a more advanced report developer, or even a data scientist, we have these capabilities available inside, in the box. So whether it's data exploration, dashboarding, reporting, consumption via web browser, consumption via your mobile device, all of these capabilities are available out of the box in Cognos Analytics. And then you'll see around kind of the edges of this diagram here, some of the other complementary products that we integrate with. So it really does, these integration points do really allow you to extend the capabilities of Cognos Analytics, so that if you want to do pure data science, use something like Watson Studio. You want to do budgeting and forecasting, you've got planning analytics as a nice option there. These are all complementary products that we have integration points with to really let the organization expand these capabilities as needed to answer the questions that they need to. So just to, I'm going to go through some of the key capabilities here very quickly. So in terms of dashboarding, so we have a very easy to use self-service dashboard. It does provide natural language processing, which you can see on the screen here, where you can simply start typing in questions and the product will generate visualizations that you can simply drag and drop onto your canvas to create a dashboard. Authoring really doesn't get any simpler than that. Then we've got the ability to drill through and filter each widget on the canvas can be filtered automatically, so that if you're using the same data source, applying a filter to one gives you the ability to see the results on another. We've got AI-driven controls to enable forecasting with a single click. We've got augmented analytics widgets available to provide what-if scenario modeling for the business user, and key driver analysis, which is really, really an important thing, important question that many users are asking. In addition to dashboarding, we have enterprise reporting. So what I mean by that is pixel perfect reports. So these are, often highly formatted reports, perhaps financial reports that need to be, perhaps submitted to a regulatory body, or just financial reports that customers use to, to run their business. I know the panel earlier, there was a question around, reporting coming back. And I think it's been coming back because organizations are realizing that even though these self-service capabilities are really useful, and it does help and provide a lot of the benefits I mentioned, at the end of the day, many of these organizations are still running their business using these reports. So you have a highly interactive consumption experience. It's a drag and drop authoring experience. So it's easy for a business user to be able to quickly create a report and distribute it out. But at the same time, there are advanced capabilities around query authoring and customization, so that literally there's just about nothing you can't do in a Cognos Analytics report. Another element of reporting that's very popular is what we call bursting. So what this is creating a report that is going to be distributed out to a broad range of users. So you have the ability to schedule these reports, distribute them in multiple formats, whether it's PDF, whether it's Excel, HTML, but also add parameterization. So you can build one report and then have it customized for each individual recipient that you're sending it to. So, a classic example of this is a sales report. So you could author one sales report, add the parameterization in so that and distribute it out to your sales force worldwide. The folks opening that report in the United States are of course going to see only the US data that they're relevant to them. The folks in the UK or Europe will see European data. That's all rendered at runtime, so there's no additional work to do. You're not creating multiple versions of this report. You're simply adding the parameterization and distributing it out, a custom report out to them every time. This could be scheduled to run on demand, daily, hourly, weekly, whatever. Something we've introduced in just the past 12 to 18 months is data science integration. So we have native integration with Watson Studio and Jupyter Notebooks. So this gives our users the ability our data scientists, the ability to leverage Cognos data sources as an input into their machine learning models or the algorithms that they're building out in Watson Studio or Jupyter Notebooks. They can then manipulate the data, apply the algorithms, and then publish that result set back into the Cognos environment as a data source, so that dashboard users, report authors can all use that the output of that machine learning operation and use it as a data source for building out content. So the beauty of this is really the ability to have everyone using the same data. I talked a little bit earlier about self-service and the value of that, but with guardrails around it, so that you can have trust in the information and trust in the outcome. So this is just another example of how we're doing that in Cognos Analytics. Some of the other highlights that I'm not going to go into too much detail on, really AI-powered data prep. We've been working very hard in the past couple of years to really infuse AI throughout the product. And data preparation is really one area where there's a big opportunity to be able to really streamline that process and use the power of AI to really simplify and accelerate that process for users. The AI assisted dashboard creation, I touched on that in the dashboard section, where you can simply just have a natural language conversation with the assistant and then create visualizations that you can drag and drop, but also say, I want to generate a dashboard, and the AI assistant will go ahead and create a multi-tab dashboard using visualizations and data elements that they've determined is the most relevant for you. And you can use that as a starting point for building it out or modifying it, but a really great way of streamlining the whole data discovery and authoring experience. And then we've done a lot of work around AI and machine learning to really tailor the experience to the user. So we are tracking user gestures, user preferences, so that over time we're able to make better recommendations of content that they might be interested in seeing, or perhaps visualizations that they'd be particularly interested in. The last item here is the Learn panel powered by Watson Discovery. This is really about taking help and assistance for the user to the next level. So, as of, I think, the previous release, if someone goes to the help menu and they're looking for help, the product will detect what they're doing, where they are. Are they in reporting? Are they in dashboarding? Are they doing modeling? And it'll tailor the search results to the experience that they're in, the perspective that they're in, and the type of activities that they're doing. So really providing them the best possible experience and the best help available. Something else that we offer is as a deployment option is Cognos Analytics on Cloud Pak for Data. So Cloud Pak for Data is our built for AI data and data science platform. So you can see on the screen here a number of the services that are provided with Cloud Pak for Data. We've been building out integration points to really make deploying in a containerized fashion on Cloud Pak for Data, a winning deployment option. So letting you take advantage of things like Watson Studio, virtualization, Watson Knowledge Catalog for storing, centrally managing metadata and data assets, and really making the overall value of deploying on Cloud Pak for Data, really maximizing that. So we're going to continue to work on that in the coming months. So in terms of the deployment options we have today, we have a 30-day free trial, which is a fully functional version of the product. There are no limitations in functionality or features in the trial. It's fully functional. We have a hosted managed service cloud offering as well as a what we call on-demand service, which is a shared infrastructure offering. So for smaller customers or smaller partners or businesses who really don't have enough users or don't have enough workload to justify a managed service or a hosted solution, we do have the on-demand version available. And then client hosted, of course, so it's available on premise, supports all of the major platforms out there. And then Cloud Pak for Data, which I just mentioned, which is a containerized deployment option on our enterprise platform. So in terms of looking forward and some of our vision, so what we really want to do is to make our customers faster and smarter. We want them to see further. We want them to be confident both in the insights that we're providing, but also in the decisions that they'll be making. So to sum it up, we want to be the co-pilot for business. We want to enable these customers to do things that will make them smarter and faster, make them see further and be more confident. So how are we going to do that? So in terms of faster and smarter, we'll be leveraging things like the Watson Auto Translation Service, which will allow you to author content in the language of your choosing, but then have your consumers have the ability to have it translated in real time using the Watson Translation Service. So to be translated into any of the, I think it's 100 languages that the translation service supports. We're going to continue working on training the AI engine. One of the techniques that we're working on right now is leveraging the knowledge of subject matter experts in your organization. So give companies and organizations the ability to identify these subject matter experts, track the kind of assets that they're looking at, and really curate the experience for the rest of the users based on the things that they're looking at and the things that they're doing. And then lastly, collaborative authoring. So enabling an experience where multiple people can be working on the same dashboard as an example. We certainly recognize that, especially today with the situation we're in, everyone is working remotely. Everyone is having to collaborate more, and it's more and more difficult to do that. So having this experience where multiple people can be working on a single dashboard to answer a business problem, I think is really, really important. In terms of seeing further, we're going to continue building out our natural language processing capabilities with integrating with Watson Assistant. So today we have our built-in natural language engine, which will answer questions and provide visualizations and content based on your data and the data that you have access to. But we're going to be leveraging additional Watson services so that if you are using Watson APIs or you have Watson services, you'll be able to configure the conversation assistant to automatically route questions there. So imagine you're asking about your sales data, we're providing visualizations, but then you ask another question about weather, or you ask another question about another topic. The conversation assistant will automatically pull the available Watson services and then provide the feedback to you directly in the conversation assistant. Now, goal seeking is we introduced what if scenario modeling in 11.1.7, and goal seeking is really kind of the next phase of that. So the idea here is that you would set a target. So for an example, I want to increase my sales by 15%. So we would build a machine learning model on the fly to identify, what are the key drivers that would, help you achieve that goal, and what action needs to be taken. And it'll identify the product lines or perhaps the markets, depending on your data, the markets, and what kind of change has to happen in order for you to be successful and to reach that target. And then lastly, we have here, going from what if to what's next. So I mentioned the what if scenario modeling we introduced in 11.1.7. This is really simple forecasting, and think of it as a scratch pad for a business user. But once you've come up with a model that you think is valid and you think needs to be taken to the next level, you have a warm handoff and an easy way to publish that into a product like Planning Analytics, so that someone who is an experienced, full-time forecast and budget, builds budgets and forecasts and plans, as his or her profession, have that input so that you can publish the work you've done and let them use that as a starting point to operationalize a formal plan. And then in terms of being more confident, building out our integration with Watson Knowledge Catalog offers a number of really valuable governance features, things like end-to-end lineage, for an example, the ability to centrally store and manage data assets of all kinds, being able to store and manage artifacts, reports, dashboards, and so on. And then smart data profiling. So give users the ability to see statistics and important information about the data that they're going to be using, but also to provide an analytic quality score. So not simply detect things like null values or mixed values in columns and things like that, but actually do real data analysis and identify issues that may arise downstream when you're actually building out your content, your dashboards, and your reports. And then make it easy for you to build data stories from scratch. So the ability to use natural language, simple search to be able to build out interactive data stories that really will provide additional value and reinforce the message that you're trying to deliver. So that was it for the overview. As I said, I understand that there's a deeper dive this afternoon, so I'm hoping everyone will come back and join for that. But in the meantime, I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
Yeah, thanks a ton, Chris. Really appreciate it. And like you said, kind of a teaser for this afternoon session. We'll be given some demo content here, for Cognos Analytics. And I think it's really cool to see, IBM as a vendor, right, continue to grow innovation for their large existing customer base and also drive, new opportunities for net new business as well. So really appreciate your time here today, Chris. I will get any questions to you if we have any, but just trying to keep on kind of with the agenda here.